Coming up, the murder trial of Derek Chauvin has come to an end this afternoon. We have the latest details coming up next. Newswatch Ole Miss starts now. Good evening and thank you for tuning in to Newswatch Ole Miss. I'm Grayson Wolf. The jury has come to a verdict in the trial that has covered the news for weeks. Derek Chauvin has been found guilty on all 3 charges of murder brought against him. The video of Chauvin kneeling on the neck of George Floyd this past summer sparked nationwide protests and another wave of social justice movements. students respond to the news.
To see him found guilty, I guess, is indicative of how things might go in the future, so that kind of gives me a little hope on that front.
The criminal justice system is flawed, but that people are working on it, so I agree with the verdict.
Chauvin was found guilty on all 3 charges: unintentional second-degree murder, second-degree manslaughter, and third-degree murder. Law professor Ronald Rishlack breaks down what the results of the trial mean.
Bottom line, the defense tried to argue that Officer Chauvin was following departmental guidelines in his restraint, but the prosecution had department experts that came on and said, no, this is not department guidelines. And so the prosecution successfully showed that Chauvin was sort of a bad actor, not going by the guidelines he's supposed to do. I mean, they're serious. I mean, he's going to be looking at significant time in prison, assuming that there's not a mistrial. Now, the judge indicated a possibility of a mistrial due to some of the statements Maxine Waters made over the weekend. The impact. I mean, you just watch that video and you believe something really wrong took place. Now, there were technical defenses that were set forth on Chauvin's team, but I don't know how anyone watched that and didn't think that something really bad had happened. I blame people for being angry at what they saw, but the anger has to be directed, as the prosecution did, at an individual, not sort of at large entities.
After the video of Chauvin and George Floyd surfaced this past summer, the university began the Stronger Together Dialogue series. The series will continue Thursday night with a session on justice and the Derek Chauvin trial. Space is limited, so RSVP through the email sent to your university account. And the Oxford Police Department has reported 7 drug overdose deaths in the Lafayette County area this year and 10 in the past 6 months. 5 of the 7 who overdosed this year survived. Various drugs are being pressed with a deadly chemical known as fentanyl, which is an opioid that can kill in very small doses. Chief of Police Jeff McCutcheon says the pandemic is partly to blame. McCutcheon says the stress of COVID-19 has pushed some into drug use. Any students struggling with drug addiction are encouraged to contact the William McGee Center at 662-915-6543. And folks, mark your calendars for a month dedicated to all things building safety. The City of Oxford is participating in the 41st Annual Building Safety Month this May. The global movement's theme this year is Prevent, Prepare, Protect, Building Codes Save. Several safety-related issues will be focused on this month, including disaster preparedness and water safety. The Oxford Building Department will be hosting several events throughout the month, such as fire sprinkler demonstrations and fire safety obstacle courses for students on May 6th and 7th at Central Elementary School. And the university's Rallying Against Sexual Assault, more commonly known as RASA, is again hosting their Take Back the Night March. The march is an effort to raise awareness around sexual violence and offer support to survivors of sexual assault. This year, the march is supported by Ole Miss Athletics and University Police. It'll begin tonight at 6 p.m. in the Grove. And the Oxford Community Market is officially in full bloom today. The market's spring kickoff is being held until 6:30 p.m. at the Old Armory Pavilion. While the market is held year-round, spring is when more vendors and more produce appear. Fresh cabbage, lettuce, and carrots will be some of the featured veggies. Shoppers will also see grass-fed beef, Gulf Coast shrimp, and even fresh coffee. And an Ole Miss spring tradition is coming back this week. Emma Harrington has more on the return of the Grove Bowl.
Grove Bowl is our annual spring game with our football team, and so this year it'll be on April 24th in the Vault. and really excited about it. Admission is free, and so we're not ticketing any tickets this year, and we hopefully can have a really big crowd come out and see the rally.
This afternoon from Vaught Hemingway Stadium in Oxford, Mississippi.
We're moving forward with it as wide open, and so we're still going to have some protocols we have to follow just based off our state and local government guidelines, but we are going to require face masks, face coverings when you enter and exit the facility and when you're moving to your seat. But as far as attendance capacity goes, we're hoping we have a good turnout for that weekend. Yeah, you just show up. So the event starts at 4 p.m. and so our gates will open at 3 o'clock that afternoon. We do have a very busy schedule that day with a couple of events going on campus with our different programs, but so we'll have that day we have baseball at noon. We play LSU, and then at 4 o'clock we have the Grove Bowl, and then that night we have softball. So big weekend, and really looking forward to it.
Cam White with the score. What a way to close this one out.
We're really looking forward to kind of getting back to normal, quote, normal season. And so Coach Kiffin's brought a ton of excitement for our program and a big bowl win in January. So we're really looking to feed off that and kind of lead into our 2021 season.
Thanks, Emma. A UM professor's work is the focus of the 2021 campus-wide Common Read. English professor Amy Nezuk-Matatiel is author of World of Wonders, which will be read by incoming freshmen. The book focuses on the beauty of the outdoors, even showcasing some local spots here in Oxford. The tree trail, along with the champion catalpa tree, are just some locations featured in the book. All incoming freshmen and transfer students will receive a copy of the book, and it will be featured in many classroom lessons. 3 Ole Miss students have been selected for a prestigious honor. The National Science Foundation has recognized Jax Dallas, Larry Stokes, and William Meador for their accomplishments in research. The 3 Honors College students are the first UM students to receive the honor since 2015. The foundation will provide 3 years of financial support for the students as they enter its Graduate Research Fellowship program. And if you're about to cross the graduation finish line like myself, you're probably wondering how to get ceremony tickets for friends and family. The university released video instructions on how to secure your tickets. Visit the commencement website and find your school's ceremony. Click on Reserve Your Tickets for this event. Enter your student ID and select the amount of tickets you want. Tickets come in pods of 4, and each ceremony has its own limits. Click on Confirm, enter your information, click Confirm again, and then you're all set. And we have what to expect for the weather going into the rest of the week, and the latest in the world of sports when we return.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I brought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
Welcome back to Storm Watch. I'm Kelly Weatherton here with this week's weather forecast. Starting us off, we can take a look at our current temperatures here in northeastern Mississippi. As you can see, we have 73 in South Haven, 70 degrees in Oxford, 72 in Holly Springs, and 74 in both Corinth and Tupelo. Now, right now, we do have 70 degrees here in Oxford. We can expect temperatures to drop later on this evening, going as low as 34 degrees. That is right. We can also expect partly cloudy skies this evening, winds coming from the north to northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour, and an 18% chance of rain. Moving on to tomorrow, the lower temperatures tonight will bring a low high of 58 degrees tomorrow. Sunny skies, winds coming from the north to northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour, and a 5% chance of rain. Now for our week outlook, we can expect warmer temperatures later on in the week. Rain is also likely on both Friday and Saturday. And that is all. Have a great week.
Thank you, Kelly. Doug Nikhazy was on fire on the mound Saturday, but the Rebs still couldn't take the series from their in-state rivals. And a strong spring has found the Ole Miss soccer team their spot in the postseason. Avery Eisen has that and more coming up next in sports.
You told me not to talk to strangers. You told me not to cross the street without looking both ways.
You told me not to touch the stove.
You told me not to do drugs. You told me not to drink and drive.
You gave me so many messages about how to stay safe. Why didn't you keep me safe by properly storing your gun?
I am a nurse,
a firefighter, a college student,
a mother, and I am an American soldier.
I will always be ready
for every storm and disaster that threatens my community.
I will always be there to protect my neighbors,
my family,
and my country.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
Visit nationalguard.com to learn more about part-time service.
Yeah, Sam, Elmo.
Oh, hey, Julia. You ready to play band with us? I'm going to play my clarinet.
And Elmo's going to play his drum. Drum loud.
Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
Mm-hmm. With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still has to make music. Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
Welcome back to Sports Watch. I'm Avery Eisen. It wasn't quite the weekend the Rebel baseball team had hoped for against their in-state rivals, but there was something still good to build on. Game 1 was a back-and-forth affair, but the Bulldogs put up 1 in the 6th to break the tie and 2 more in the 8th to run away with the 5-2 victory. Game 2 was a different story, highlighted by Doug Nick Hazy's 9-inning shutout. More on him later. The Rebs took that game 9-0. But with the series on the line, the 5-run 6th inning was too much for the Rebs to overcome, and they fell 7-5 in Game 3. Nick Hazy gave up just 1 hit and 2 walks in his stellar Game 2 performance. Striking out 12 and throwing 122 pitches, he is the first Rebel since 2001 to pitch a full game and give up just 1 hit. His performance turned in some heads and earned him honors as the SEC Player of the Week and the National Player of the Week. The Rebs will be back at home for the next 8 games, starting tonight as they host Little Rock Trojans at 6:30. Keeping it on the diamond, the Rebel softball team came out with a victory in Game 1 against Texas A&M 2-1. Anna Borgen got the win after Abby Latham put the winning run across the 7th. On Saturday afternoon, the Rebels clinched the series with a 3-1 victory. The Rebs broke the tie in the 6th thanks to RBI from Paige Smith and Jessica Puck. The Rebs couldn't quite complete the sweep on Sunday, falling 4-3. Ole Miss plays UT Martin tomorrow in their final midweek game of the season. Kicking it over to the soccer field, after an undefeated spring season, the Ole Miss women's soccer team earned their 9th NCAA bid for the 2021 Women's Soccer Championship. This is the 3rd time in the last 4 seasons that the Rebels will be competing in the championship. Coach Matt Mott is excited for the Rebels to play an opposing team from a different region. The team will be back on the road competing against Bowling Green in the first round next Tuesday. After a wild year of sports for the Ole Miss Rebels, the 2021 Rebel Choice Awards were different than usual, honoring the student athletes and their accomplishments off the field and not their athletic feats since they didn't have their normal opportunities to compete. Rebel baseball star Tim Elko was named Men's Scholar Athlete of the Year. The Women's Scholar Athlete of the Year was given to golf's Kennedy Swan. The Chancellor's Cup was awarded to the women's cross country and the men's tennis teams. You can find the full list of those recognized at OleMissSports.com. Serving it over to the tennis courts, the Ole Miss women's tennis team lost the 2nd round of the SEC Championship against number 26th ranked Kentucky today 4-1. But it wasn't all negative for the squad today, as Rebel senior Teresa Janatova was named the SEC Women's Tennis Scholar Athlete of the Year. Janatova and her team are now waiting until next Monday to learn if they will get a seat at the table for the NCAA tournament. That's all I've got for sports. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at rebel_watch for your latest Rebel sports updates. Grayson, back to you.
Thank you, Avery. The City of Oxford is hoping to promote local artists and musicians. How they plan to do that is up next.
I just found out my work party is a +1. You want to go? This is my boss, Ella.
Nice to meet you, Greg.
You're welcome. Nope, I'm high. But I'll clean the kitchen while you're gone.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
Pool party at Jesse's. Can you drive? I'm toasted.
Nope, I'm high. But I can order us a ride.
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
We are Ole Miss Rebels. As Mississippi's flagship university, we dig deeper, see farther, work harder. We pioneered human organ transplants. We helped prove Einstein's theory of gravitational waves. We are distinguished as a Carnegie R1 top 2.5% research institution. We are Ole Miss, transforming lives and the world.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
I am what hunger looks like in America. I was created by artificial intelligence from faces of the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger.
The Double Decker Festival is canceled for the second year in a row, which leaves some of Oxford's and surrounding areas' small businesses struggling. Visit Oxford is hosting Pop-Up Oxford Spring Edition in order to combat this problem. The town will begin hosting small events to highlight local artists and musicians beginning April 22nd throughout the middle of May. This will also include double-decker bus tours. More information can be found at visitoxfordms.com. Well, you know, Avery, it's a real shame that Double Decker's canceled for the second year in a row. I just love Double Decker. I mean, the artists, the musicians, the food, I mean, everything about it's great. It's a real shame.
Definitely. The food is my favorite part.
Yeah.
I'm so sad I can't.
So
be.
good.
Yeah.
So good. But I will say one good thing. Baseball this weekend. Rebels are facing off against the LSU Tigers on the diamond. Tell me about that.
Exactly. Are you going to go to the game this weekend?
I think I might.
You should. I'm hopeful that we'll get the win this weekend.
Let's hope so. All righty. Well, that's all we have for today. Thank you for tuning in to Newswatch Ole Miss. You can catch our show live on Facebook, YouTube, and our website. The show is also now available on IGTV. Make sure to also follow our social media pages for updates. I'm Grayson Wolf. Thank you, and have a wonderful evening.